Welcome back to part 4 of the Jurassic Park Part 2 tutorial. Today we will be going over Blockade. This is one of my favorite levels because it is very dynamic in the sense that there are a ton of different strats that you can pick and choose which ones you want to do. And it all kind of comes down to the end fight and how you decide to go about doing the end. So I'm going to explain everything that you need to know, all the strats. And I think the best way to do that is to start with the end fight and explain how this works. That way you can kind of go into the end fight knowing what you need to do. So, this is the end fight. This is our friend Bruce right here. There are a few things we need to go over about how Bruce operates. It's a very simple fight, but there's a lot more going on underneath the surface. So the fight, we're going to abuse the mechanic where you can stand right up against an object and then just spam your shotgun, and we'll be able to kill Bruce and his blue friend up on top. So it's going to look like this. So just stand up real close to him and just shoot as fast as you can, and then the level will end. That's all you need to do to kill him. So it is simple in that sense, but there are a few things you do need to know. Starting with Bruce himself, there's a weird mechanic with Bruce. I don't know why this is, but if you're on his left side, it is much more dangerous than if you're on his right side. Because if you pay attention, I'm on his left side, and he's shooting out 2 bullets, along with his flamethrower. But if you're on his right side, here, let me kill this guy, actually. So I'm on his left side. He's going to be shooting out bullets, along with the flamethrower. But if I'm on his right side, he only shoots out the flamethrower. So the bullets don't shoot out. I don't know why this is. I don't know why those bullets appear only on the left side, but that's just how he operates. With that in mind, when you enter the fight, if you're doing the fastest strats, you're going to be on the left side, so you're going to be approaching him from the left side. So the fastest strat would look like this, and you can see how really close I cut it with health. And I understand that most people probably can't hyper tap as fast as I can. So it's probably worth it to spend like a third of a second just to go to his right side and then finish the fight there. And you can see how much health I have now as opposed to the left side. You can see I have a lot less health than before. One more thing you want to know about Bruce is that once you kill him, he does explode, and this explosion does cause you to take a lot of damage. So you do want to be aware of that. You want to jump out of the way once you kill him. So you want to enter this fight. You want to go through this whole level and into the fight with a minimum of 10 shotgun shells, and that'll give you enough to actually kill the 2 enemies. You want to have around 12 or 13. That'll be very safe, but 10 is the absolute minimum. So it'll take 9 shotgun shells to kill Bruce, and then an extra 3 to kill the blue guy. However, if you need to finish off the blue guy with your submachine gun, it's actually pretty easy to do that. So let me just demonstrate real quick. So say I have 1 shot now, so even with 1 shotgun shell, I was even able to kill the blue guy, so the blue guy's not super difficult to kill. So yeah, 10 shotgun shells entering this fight is the bare minimum. Alright, so that's about it with the fight, the end fight. If you want to kill the blue guy first, you definitely can. There's no harm in doing that if you wanted to kill him first. But yeah, that's about it for the end fight. Long story short, just stand up, right next to the two guys with the shotgun and just unload on them. Alright, so with that being said, we are going to restart the level and we will go through everything again. Or we'll go through the whole level this time. When we get back to the final fights, then I will quickly go over everything again, just to reiterate everything. So yeah, let's get into it. So like I said, you want to try to conserve as much shotgun ammo as possible. So I go through the majority of this level with my SMG. Now this part right here, there's this flamethrower who's going to be perched on top of this ramp, and he's in a pretty annoying spot. If you want to, you can just kind of stand back and shoot him like this. You can just get him to stop in a easy spot and shoot him like this or with your machine gun. But you can get through him fast without stopping. And to do that, we're going to have our shotgun out. And as soon as we pass this pole that I'm standing behind now, we're going to jump and then shoot. And then we'll shoot again. So it'll look like this. So it looks like that. You will most likely take a little bit of damage if you do that. So it looks something like that. Continuing on. Alright, right here. This flamer directly above me, if you're fast enough up this ladder, for some reason he'll despawn. I don't really know why that is. If you take your time, then there's a good chance, yeah, he'll respawn. So you want to be aware of that. Just get up this ladder pretty quickly, and he just despawns. You don't have to worry about him. Now, this flamer up top, once I'm running past him, I like to look up and put in a few shots of my SMG as I'm running underneath him, just like that. And that primes him so that I can kill him easily once I jump up here. Just like that. So I'm going to do that sequence again. I'm not going to worry about this first flamer because again he'll despawn. And then as I'm running underneath the second flamer, I'm just going to look upwards and shoot my SMG. So like that. And then I can easily kill him like that. You don't have to do that fast strat because it is a little bit dangerous. Those first few shots are pretty easy to do. But if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to if you want to slow down at this point, then you can just do something like that. You do want to be aware of the guy underneath because once you get up onto the second floor, he does respawn. So if you want to hang back and kill this flamer up top, you do want to be aware of the flamer underneath. As you can see, he's trying to shoot me now. So that's what you want to be aware of. Alright, so coming up we have the Bazooka ladder. And you can make it up this ladder without slowing down. This is really going to test your laddering abilities. So if you're clean with your laddering, you can just jump quickly up without slowing down. And you can make it up without missing that. And you can avoid all those bazookas. But you really need to make sure you don't mess up your laddering. So, for example, like now I've messed up. And now the bazookas are going to be kind of out of sync. So if you full send it at this point, then you might not make it up. You might not be so lucky. But if you're clean with your movements, then you'll be able to make it up. It is pretty risky to do. You can go really slowly and really safe. You can just kind of hang out down here and shoot upwards like this. Just take your time like that and continue on. But if you do want to go fast, yeah, you need to make sure you don't mess up your movement, or else those bazookas might hit you. I will point out that there is a health, or not a health, an ammo cache at the end of this walkway. It's pretty far out of the way, as you can tell, so it might not be worth it to grab this one. There is another one later on in the mission that you can pick up, and it's closer to where you need to go anyway, so you might want to skip that one. But yeah, that's the bazooka ladder. Now we will continue on. Alright, so I'm gonna save right here. Now this part right here, this part is slightly different on a normal mode. It's actually a lot easier on normal mode. These running soldiers, if you're on normal, you can just hold your SMG down and just run straight through them, and you will not take any damage. Because you will be able to kill them before they're able to fire their bullets. Now, if you're on hard mode, you can see I'm taking damage because they're getting their shots off before I can even kill them. So, if you're on hard mode, you need to time your jumps. We're not going to worry about killing them because, again, they're going to shoot us if we try to kill them. So we're just going to jump past them. And my visual cue for the first jump is once I pass this gray generator, that's when I jump. So past the gray generator, and then I'll be able to jump over the first guy. And then from there, you just kind of time your jumps. The second jump, you jump immediately. And then the third and fourth jump, well, the third jump, you'll want to wait about half a second before you jump again. So jump immediately, then jump. You can see there's a little bit of a hesitation on this jump right here. And again, if you're on normal mode, you can just run right through them. Oh. So jump. These guys, you can just shoot them without having to worry about them. Alright, so this part right here, this is a part where you can decide what you want to do. So the easiest, or the safest strat to get past this part is to drop down to the right side and then jump across. You won't take any damage doing that method. If you do this method though, you want to be aware of, if you drop too far down, this guy underneath might shoot you. So just drop down a little bit and then jump back across. The faster strat is to drop down on the left side of the ladder and then drop down from here. You will notice you take a little bit of damage if you do this. You want to grab the ladder as low as possible, obviously. The lower you can grab the ladder, then the faster the strat will become. But if you miss the ladder entirely, then that leads into what the fastest strat is, and that's just to do the full fall. Now you'll notice this actually deals a lot of damage. This entire fall, if you don't grab the ladders at all. I would not recommend doing this in full game. I would recommend doing either of the first two strats. Yeah, this is not a strat I do in full game, this full fall. Because again, it deals too much damage. And again, the end fight can become really strict with your health. So pick whichever ladder you want to grab. This one is a little bit more dangerous than the right side, because again, if you miss the ladder, then you will lose a lot of health. Alright, continuing on. So, coming up, we're going to time our jumps so we can get past this bazooka blue guy combo. So I'm just going to kill these guys real quick, just to demonstrate. So if you notice in the background, you have these diagonal cross beams, and they're in the shape of a V. So our first jump is going to be once we get to the bottom of the V. So it's going to be right here. We're going to do a full jump across, and then we're going to jump again to get past the blue guy. So here's what it looks like. And doing that timing will get us past both enemies without taking any damage. So jump once we get to the V. Jump right here, and then jump again. And then we'll be able to make it through without getting shot. Alright, so now we have the vent section. So these fans, the fastest way to kill these fans is to do 2 bursts of shotgun. Sometimes you get stuck right there, by the way. That's a weird glitch that happens if you land on the very corner. So 2 shotgun bursts is the fastest way to kill the fans. But if you want to conserve the shotgun ammo, because remember, we want to have at least 10 shotgun bursts going into the final fight. If you want to conserve shotgun ammo, you can do 3 gas grenade rockets, and that'll kill it. So that's the alternative to that. Right here is a pretty tricky section. There's this pretty tricky strat you can do. First of all, these bazooka guys, you can easily duck down and then just kill them however you feel is necessary, like that. That's the easy strat to do. However, it is possible to jump past them without slowing down. And to do that, well, first of all, the first jump we're going to do is once I'm past, or once I'm behind this barricade that's in front of me, that's when I do my first jump. So once I pass behind this thing, then I'll jump, and then immediately jump again. So it's jump, jump. And here, I'll do it right here. So jump, jump. This is a pretty tricky strat to get the timing on. Whoops. And by the way, if you get stuck, like if you miss this jump and get stuck behind the fan, the base of the fan, then they'll have already spawned in and your timing is going to be off. As you can see, he shot way earlier than normal. So jump, jump, and you can make it through. There is an even faster strat you can do. It is possible to do this second jump and make it onto the ladder immediately. And to do that, you need to get an edge skip on the base of the fan. Even this one's really hard, and I don't go for this in full game, but if you get an edge skip on the base of the fan, then that'll boost you a little bit further enough so where you can instantly make it up onto the ladder. I don't go for that in full game because it's really risky. And by the way, on normal mode, the timings for these jumps will be a little bit more lenient because the bazookas will fly out a little bit slower than they do on hard. So you have a slightly larger timing window to make those jumps. But yeah, anyways, the fastest, most consistent strat is to do the jump when you pass behind the barricade, and then you make it up. Alright, continuing on. You can destroy that fan. Now this flamer right here, you can just jump past. He only deals a little bit of damage if you do that. Obviously you don't have to do that. You can just stand right here or something and kill him like that. Or you can just duck down right here and kill him like that. But if you jump past him, he doesn't deal too much damage. Okay, so now we are at a crossroad. So right here, you have an option of doing the blockade out of bounds or doing full path. I will be explaining both, obviously, but first I'm going to explain the full path. So I'm going to set up this save states. So we will come back to the blockade out of bounds. But for now, we are going to do full path. So full path, we're going to go to the left side. This blue guy right here, he looks scary, but you can just jump past him and take minimal damage. Again, if you wanted to kill him, he's actually super easy to kill. It's a little bit slow, but you can just shoot him like this, and he won't shoot at you at all if you're standing behind the base of the fan. And again, if you just want to jump past him, you can pretty easily get past him without taking too much damage. So these guys are really easy to get past. You want to be careful of this fan. You don't want to run to the left, obviously, because this fan pushes you backwards. Okay. So, this part right here, there's a pretty cool strat you can do. Pretty much, we can fall most of the way down. We can fall down all the way to right here and be safe. And to do that, once we pass this first fan right here, this fan is going to be pulling us to the left, so you want to be falling down kind of to the right. But once we pass that fan, then we are going to change our direction and start going to the left. So it'll look like this. So pass the fan and then start going to the left. And you can grab this ladder and you'll be safe. If you do that strat though, you will skip an ammo cache. There is an ammo cache behind this fan, which I might recommend grabbing this, because it's pretty quick to grab. Especially if you're starting out, just so you can have enough ammo going into the final fight. So yeah, that drop down strat again, be kind of in the middle. Once you pass the fan, then just start heading to the left, and we'll be able to grab the ladder. It's a pretty easy strat to do, honestly. So I would recommend going for it. Yeah, climbing down slowly is honestly pretty slow, and it feels risky if you're trying to time just dropping down from the extreme right side. So yeah, I would highly recommend going for this drop down strat. It's pretty easy. Alright, so moving on. Pick up this health, might as well. And then we'll drop down, and we have entered the final fight. So, from there, we are going to head back. That is the full path. Now we are going to explain the out of bounds. Alright, so the out of bounds, there are a few steps we have to conquer. So, and there are a couple options that you can do. You can go for the full send, one try, one attempt. If you fail this version, then the run is just dead. You'll die. Or you won't die, but you will have to take the full path from that point on. Or if you don't want to do that, you can go for the 2-try attempt. So depending on what you want to do depends on the very first step right here. So first of all, we need to kill this fan on the left side. So now we're going to have the extra pulling power of this fan. Now what we want to do is For the 2 attempt strats, we're not going to worry about damaging the fan. We're not going to worry about killing the fan. So whatever strat you want to do, first we need to get clipped into the floor. And to do that, we're going to walk off the edge onto the left. And then as soon as we walk off, we're going to turn around and start walking to the right. And I believe there's about a 2-frame window of when you walk off the edge and when you can turn around. And you'll get clipped into the floor. So it'll look like this. Walk off the edge. I missed it. And turn to the right once you walk off. There you go. Oops. So I was clipped into the floor just then. As soon as you clip into the floor, and again, we're going for the 2 attempt strats. As soon as you get clipped into the floor, your controls, your movements are going to be reversed. So you get clipped into the floor, and then you're going to walk to the left. You're going to be holding left on the D-pad. And it's counterintuitive, but if you're clipped into the floor and you're walking to the left, you will actually move to the right. So it'll look like this. If I can do it. So I'm holding to the left, and as you can see, I started moving to the right. I'm just going to destroy this fan for now. And again, controls are reversed when you're in this halfway clipped in state. So I'm holding to the right now, but I started moving to the left. And if I hold to the left, I'll move to the right. It's a weird quirk with this glitch, but that's just how it is. Okay, so let me reload. So you will take damage if you're doing this 2 attempt strats. There we go, hold to the left, because we're not going to destroy the fan. If we keep the fan alive, it'll allow us to attempt this strat again. So I'm just going to save right here. So now the clip itself. So we need to get past this wall to our right. And to do that, we are going to crouch, we are going to jump, and then we are going to hold to the right. Now there is a 2-frame window of when you jump and hold to the right. There are 2 frames in between those 2 inputs where you don't want to be pressing anything. If you press right too early, then the clip won't work, and you won't make it all the way to the right. So all we're going to do is just crouch, jump, and then hold right 2 frames later. So it'll look like this. Oh well, I failed it, but that's a good example if you fail it. We need to be onto the right side of this wall. So if you failed it, then you can just grab this ladder. And again, we're attempting it 2 times. So now we can go for the full sin strats. Or you could do full path at this point, whichever one you feel more comfortable. But that's what it looks like when you fail it. So now, if we're going to do the 1 attempt strats, we need to destroy the fan, because we're not going to have enough health going into the final fights. You can't attempt this strat more than twice, really. So to destroy the fan, all it takes is, it's going to take 2 shots of your gas grenade, and then 1 bullet of really anything. Oops. So I do 2 gas grenade, and then 1 tranquilizer. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But you don't want to destroy it yet. We prime it with the 2 gas grenades initially, and then once we get clipped into the floor, then we'll destroy it, so we don't take any damage from getting hit by it. So I've primed it with the 2 gas grenades. Now I'm going to clip into the floor. Once I clip into the floor, then I shoot it. So now I can just go to the right side. And now we can go for the strat again. I'm gonna save again. So, when we clip into the floor again, we're gonna crouch, jump, and then hold to the right. And again, there's a 2-frame window where you don't want to press right after you jump. So I failed it again, and I landed back on the ladder. So at this point, the run would be kind of dead, unless you wanted to do the full path. There is a pause buffer strat that you can do, and this is the strat that I actually do in full game runs. So the timing of this is we're gonna jump, but then immediately press pause afterwards. Okay, so I failed it, but I'm crouched. You notice that I'm crouched. If I would have gotten the frame immediately after, if I would have paused immediately after the 1 frame after jumping, then I would be standing up. But in this case, I'm crouched, so I need to wait 1 or 2 frames before I press right. If I hold right now and unpause, then I won't be able to get the bump to the right. So I'm gonna unpause, wait 1 or 2 frames. There's a 1 or 2 frame window that it'll work. After those 1 or 2 frames, then I will be able to press right. So let's see if I can get it. So, okay, so I failed it, but again, I'll try the pause buffer strat again. I will jump, and then 1 frame later, I will pause it. Okay, so this is the good frame. So if you get this state where he's standing up, then at this point you can just hold to the right and then unpause, and you'll get the bump to the right. So there we go. I got the bump. That's okay. I'm gonna explain that. And there's more to this strat, yes. If you don't want to do the pause buffer strat, again, it's riskier. It's the full send strat. So you'll press A, wait 2 frames, and then hold to the right. Okay, I failed it. I don't like this strat, to be honest. There we go. That's the good one. So, yeah, if you noticed, I didn't die this time, and that's because I have enough health. So this is probably the maximum amount of health that you can do. That you can do this full holding to the right strat. Because there's even more strats after this part. There's even more options you have. So yeah. Let me get back to that state. So here we go. So if you have enough health, then you can land on this far right wall, and then drop down and grab some health, and then drop down into the final boss. Now, obviously, if you don't have enough health, as demonstrated in the last state, then you can't land on this ladder, or you can't land on this wall, or else you would just die. You won't be able to go for that health on the right. So in order to get past it, in order to compensate, you will need to drop down in between these walls and grab the ladder down here. If you wanted to, you could jump back up, I suppose, and grab the health. If you were extremely low on health, you could do that. But otherwise, you have to drop down just like that. And you'll need to, if you were to just hold straight right the entire time, you'll be landing on this platform. So right before you land on the platform, you'll need to stop holding to the right so that you don't land on it, and you'll drop straight down. And then just keep holding right once you're falling down, and then once you get close to the ladder, just hold up and to the right so you actually grab it. It's actually very easy to miss the ladder entirely, so just hold up and to the right and you'll grab it. So yeah, there's a lot going on with the out of bounds. Um, I'll kind of go over everything again, just real quickly, just to kind of... Let me get back to that state. Because again, yeah, there's a lot going on with this strat. So anyways, if you're going to go for the 2 attempts, you don't want to destroy the fan quite yet. If you need to destroy the fan, you are going to prime it with 2 gas grenades, clip into the floor by walking off and turning around. There we go, and then once you're clipped in, then you'll shoot the fan. You'll tap to the left so you can go to the right, and now you're here. Then let me just save again. Then if you have enough health, then you can just hold to the right once you clip through. And then to clip through, you are going to crouch, jump, wait 2 frames, and then hold to the right. There we go. If you have enough health, you can just hold all the way to the right and then grab the health. If you don't have enough health, then you'll have to stop holding to the right so you can fall all the way down like this. And then if you want to do the pause buffer strat, then you'll crouch, then you will jump, and then pause 1 frame afterwards. Okay, I got the good states, because he's standing up. Now from this point, I will be holding to the right. Just hold to the right and then unpause, and you'll get the clip every time. If you get the bad states, which is actually kind of hard to do, the bad state, like this one, so at this point, you need to unpause, but then wait 2 frames, and then you'll hold to the right. So unpause, wait just a tiny bit, and then hold to the right. Okay, I got it that time. Okay. So now I'm just gonna get to the bottom. And there we go. That is everything you need to know about the Blockade clip. I will post a video in the description, a much shorter video by Magus. He has the input display and just more instructions, more in-depth instructions. It's a much shorter video. I'll put the video link in the description of this video if you want to watch it, which I would highly recommend doing, just to give you a bit more visual indication. But I would also recommend just doing full path, because this out of bounds only saves 15 seconds maybe? 15-20 seconds, and there's a lot going on, as you can tell. But anyways, we are back at the final fight, just like we were at the beginning of this video. So now to reiterate, to remember everything, left side Bruce kill is more dangerous, so you might want to be on the right side if you want to be safer. So stand up against him, really close, and then just unload all you've got. And I don't have a save state. It's okay, I made it. So stand up right next to him, and just unload everything you got. Alright, so that was Blockade. There was a lot going on there. And this, even though this is one of the shortest levels in the game, this is probably one of the longest videos in this series. There's a lot going on in this level, as you can tell. Alright, and I'm going to end it there. We will meet back up again, and we will discuss Auxiliary Power Switch. Another in-depth level.